Hello.
Good morning, everyone. Anita and Cheryl.
Thought I was so organized
got
this
her
morning.
funny glasses. So yeah, look at us. Whoa, I can touch her. We're here. We're here in person together at Cheryl's beautiful house, backyard. You know, it's just a beautiful oasis back here.
So yes, if you get the background noise of, well, you know, living in a city, dogs barking, the waterfall,
the waterfall's beautiful,
birds, you know, it's because we are live
and we're outside, and it's just a gorgeous Friday.
It's a great place to have coffee this morning.
Welcome.
Cheers,
to Feng Shui Friday with Anita and Cheryl. And we do this every Friday. We hop on here and we talk about Feng Shui and whatever the heck that means. And then we wear these funny glasses because, again, we want to bring awareness to looking at your environment through your Feng Shui eyes, energetically. And so, yeah, when we, you know, we could even just start with our surroundings here.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it feels so nice to listen to the birds and the waterfall and see the vibrant colors of those morning glories.
Yeah. Oh, they're so pretty.
And I just had a little tomato for a snack, and, you know, and it's just, you know, those beautiful red geraniums and Gerber daisies, and the colors are so vibrant. And so really it just, you know, that makes you feel alive and energetic. And so that's the same kind of thing that we look at through our Feng Shui eyes when we're looking at our home.
Absolutely.
So that we can recreate that atmosphere, so that we can recreate that feeling, that, you know, because that's what it's all about, getting in the flow. And so, of course, we never know what the heck we're going to talk about until Cheryl pulls a card from the Personal Paradise card deck. Tara Catherine Collins. And she's the founder of the Western School of Feng Shui in San Diego, California, which, by the way, I happen to be the only facilitator for her Essential Feng Shui certification program. And that's coming up at the end of September.
Oh, you have dates now.
Yeah, there's dates.
Woohoo! That's exciting.
It is exciting. And I think it might be on their WSFS.com. But if it's not, when it is, I'll post the link. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not my deal. Yeah, they
just teach it.
They do it. They collect the money. You know, everything goes through the Western School of Feng Shui. I just show up to guide people through the curriculum, which is very intense.
It is very intense.
It's a 6-day intense, immersive. Get in there, learn a ton about Feng Shui.
Continue learning, because it never ends. Never. Just letting you know, we're constantly learning.
Always.
Environments are different. Every Feng Shui consultation is different. Every situation is different. So the learning never ends. So don't stress yourself about that. But I have a recommendation, because I've been through this. Certified, Anita was my instructor way back when. And I'm fortunate in that I could come home. My husband knew I was taking the certification. I could do the homework every night, and I could totally immerse myself in it.
Right.
If you are in an environment where you have a number of children, and it's in the school year, it's at the beginning of the school year, I would highly recommend, if this is something of interest to you, to set aside that week, make arrangements to have everything else handled. It is in your best interest to give yourself that time to be fully immersed in it and not distracted from it.
And there's actually, there's three of us that facilitate the program. So there is Roseanne Roanoke, who lives in California right now.
Okay, there's
and
one card.
She's actually doing the Essential Feng Shui certification program at the beginning of October in Sedona. So there's an option. And then Lori Garillo, who lives in northeastern US. She is doing something different, actually. She's doing a 2-week online Zoom with the students. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And so then again, you still have the facilitator coach with the program.
Yeah.
And
Broken up in a little longer time frame.
yeah, over a 2 week. And
Smaller.
and then you can come and hang out in Red Deer, Alberta with me at the end of September.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
some choices.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we've had one card come out so far, which I think
Okay.
is funny because we were just talking about if you have children and allow
Mhm.
yourself some time. So
And there it came. And the card is family room, and I love it. It's a 2-6. And so, your family room could be this right here.
summertime.
This could be your family room.
Absolutely.
And why not have a family area outside, right?
Well, and we're into, well, at least here,
Mhm.
we're enjoying summer, right? We're coming sadly, too quickly to the, okay, I won't even go down that road. So taking the time to spend time outside to
Mhm.
reconnect with Mother Nature is super, super important.
Yeah, and then again, a lot of families are getting ready to have the kids back to school
Yes.
and all of that stuff. And you know what? Maybe people haven't been spending a lot of time
Mhm.
indoors because the
Oh.
weather has been so wonderful. And so when we start to move back indoors, indoors, I can't talk this morning and I haven't even had any wine.
Well, let's hope not, but
Yeah,
we
well,
would be
some-
having a different
Some
conversation.
people do, right? Yeah, so family room. And this picture
Mhm.
kind of reminds me of when we went to somebody's house. And so they had this family room
Mhm.
and there was a big TV on the wall. There was exercise equipment. There was
Art
art
supplies.
supplies. I think there was a bookshelf with books on it. So it was like, okay, well, you can come in this room and you can do this and you can do this and you can do this. It was just like so much stuff. And then what we discovered with the client was that nobody
Nobody
was
uses the room.
using the room. So it was this big, beautiful space,
Mhm.
but because they had, allocated it the family room, and there were all of these little things, like if somebody wanted to go in there and exercise, well, maybe they didn't feel like it because somebody else was watching TV, or,
Mhm.
or if the person watching TV got interrupted by the person that was doing arts and crafts or whatever. So it was really interesting to see that, sometimes we have these areas or
Mhm.
rooms in our house where we designate as something, and then they become this hub of
Chaos.
chaos. Yeah. It was supposed to be active, but
Mhm.
then people end up, getting repelled, or, they just get pushed away from
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
So, we always look at the results.
Yes.
What is happening in that room? Do the
Does it
people,
get used?
yeah, do the family, do they go there? And if they don't, then that's when we put on our feng shui
Mhm.
eyes and say, okay, energetically, what does this room say? How does this room feel?
Exactly.
And, maybe it's looking closer at the possessions that are in there and say, okay, what is this possession anchoring? Is it anchoring a disempowering emotion or an empowering
Like,
emotion?
oh, I haven't been on that exercise equipment in months.
Right.
So if I don't go in that room, I can avoid that feeling.
Right. That's a good one. Or, you start to become, that self-doubt or that
Beating yourself up.
self-talk, right?
Yuppers.
Oh my God, I gained 10 pounds over the
Yep.
summer, and
Yep.
yeah, I don't want to go in there because I'm not ready.
And I'm not, it reminds you, it's that subliminal
Mhm.
messaging
Yeah.
that I have that a piece of equipment there. And
Mhm.
energetically, that piece of equipment is going, ride me, use me.
Here I am.
What did you buy me for?
I have 10 speeds and
An incline, and you can
Yeah.
run on me, and
Yeah.
you can get healthy on me.
But it's like, yeah, no, I don't feel like it today. And so again, all of those, there's just so many different scenarios.
Absolutely.
Right? But
Absolutely.
again, when we look at what it's called the family room. So what activities would you like to do as a family?
Which is interesting because the other card that flew out is symbols of welcome.
Mhm.
So in the family room, if the exercise equipment isn't a symbol of welcome, why would you go into it?
Yes. Right.
In
Mhm.
another house, the front entrance had this beautiful, beautiful sitting area, and nobody went into it. You want to know why? Because it was called the interrogation space.
Yes. Yes. So when anybody got into trouble in
Who would want to be
family,
in there?
it was like, get to the interrogation room.
And that was right off the front entrance. So your symbol of welcome as a child when you're coming in the door is the interrogation room.
Yeah, no.
Not so welcoming.
Right. So yeah, of course you want to avoid that, right? Because naturally, instinctively, we
Yeah.
want to avoid anything that makes us feel uncomfortable, makes us feel not worthy, you know, all of those
Yeah.
kind of things. So yeah, what room, what area are you avoiding? And you know,
Why? What's the first thing you see?
think about what is it about that area.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because the first thing you see when you walk into a space, often, not always, because every situation is different,
Yep.
dictates the emotion.
Mhm.
So when you pull up to somebody's house and out front you see this welcoming front entrance and curved pathway, the first thing you think is you're welcome. Or if you pull up to a house and it's gated and there's security cameras and there's, you know, kind of spears at the top of the fence line.
Right. I
and
know a house like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
stay away.
it's already putting up the
It's already putting up the roadblocks.
yeah, I could say something else.
Yeah, the symbol of welcome is the same, not just for
Mhm.
your home entrance, but for every room into your home. So because we're talking about the family room, just put on your energetic eyes and go to the rooms. Maybe you're looking down at the floor and look up. And what is the first thing you see? What's the first thing that greets you? And is it actually greeting you?
Or is it saying,
So yeah, don't come in.
stop?
Or the subliminal messaging might be, you're going to feel guilty if you come into this room.
You might feel ashamed. You might feel, you know, again, there's all kinds of things that could go on in a room that, you know, give you different feelings, different emotions.
So for me, if I walk into a room and there's flowers, I'm like, in heaven, baby.
You know, and again, this is kind of interesting too. You know, again, the family, and we're getting back into that season where people get into a bit of a schedule and all of those kind of things. And because we have had tremendous weather,
we have
the last, 4 weeks for sure, something like that. I know myself, I've been spending a lot more time outside just to cool off, you know, sleeping naked out on the deck, you know.
Woo, want her address?
No, just kidding. Just kidding. But some people probably are.
Yeah.
And so then what happens now, then we're going to move back in the house and then we go, oh yeah, great. Yeah, 6 weeks ago I was doing that and it's still,
and I never finished it.
And it's still there. Or, you know, now you got a big pile of gardening stuff you have to deal with and, you know, whatever. And so you might have some clutter. And we have a program coming up in the fall.
Exactly.
Moving from chaos to clarity. And, you know, we spend 21 days with you and we're there to coach you, support you. There's other like-minded people. And, you know, somebody, a well-known author, speaker, public figure that has no background in feng shui.
None whatsoever.
She just announced the other day that she's doing a decluttering course. And we were both like, what?
Say what?
What? But obviously, and you know, we listened to her little spiel and whatever. And so some of it was about, you know, the mind clutter, what's in your heart that's cluttering.
Right.
And of course, Cheryl and I know that, you know, we go deeper when we work with people in 21 days to really, really get clear on what is it for them, because there is no cookie cutter formula. And so when we work with the people that have taken our 21-day program before the moving from chaos to clarity, it's that we really can help them. You know, we don't go, oh, hey, boom, you know, point the fingers and say, is it possible? Is it possible that you have a belief, yada, 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 that has led to da, 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 and da, 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 and then they go, oh my gosh, the light bulbs start going off, and now they're empowered
to do something about it.
Because once you have that awareness, you can't unknow what you know.
Exactly. It was no different.
Yeah.
My garage is just right there. And the first time we did it, I had my own awarenesses, because whenever we teach a program, we're living what we're teaching.
We're doing it.
We're doing it right alongside. So we share our own stories. We share what's happened to us. And I'm happy to share, you know, in the garage, we had a drawer and a cupboard that was just, well, the drawer was my nemesis. It was so heavy and so full of crap, I couldn't even pull it open.
Yeah, and it was more than stuff.
It was more than
and
stuff.
It actually, physically, it was a weight.
Yes.
It was heavy.
Absolutely.
Mentally, emotionally, there was a weight of it that you didn't even.
I wasn't even aware of.
Know that it was existed until we started to go deeper and uncover some of these truths. So it was really, you know, it's really exciting. It's exciting for us when we can help our clients, our students, you know, really go through some of this stuff. And then to see the shifts after.
Oh my word. And you know, that brings up a point. Because we're here together, Anita isn't watching Facebook. So anybody that's joined us live on Facebook, good morning.
Yeah.
We thank you for being here with us.
Type in and say hi. Comments, because
so we will come back to your comments later. And if you have, and you're watching us this morning and you've participated in our past programs with us, please leave a message how it's impacted you, good, bad, or indifferent. It really is important for us to be very authentic and very integral about the programs that we teach. That and it's nice coming from another person that we're not paying. We're not paying for anything,
just us
right?
Blowing our own
horn. Exactly.
And the other thing is, I know I'm looking forward to it too. Because then I have to be accountable to
she does so
her and and the group. And so then it's like, there's some things, there's always and you know what, if there's anybody out there that says,
I don't need to declutter,
I don't have any clutter, I'm gonna call your BS on that one, because everyone has clutter somewhere on something. And so it doesn't necessarily
it doesn't
have
need to be a physical object.
It doesn't,
what I was going to say.
It doesn't have to be in your home, in your closet, in your drawer. It can be on your computer. It can be on your phone.
It could be in your photos, which is a huge one we've heard lots about lately.
And holy moly, emails. You know, we've heard some people have had
80,000 emails and counting.
What?
The more interesting fact of that one was she was worried she was going to miss something. So what in 80,000 emails are you missing?
Well, you wouldn't be able to find it. You wouldn't even be able to know what you're missing because you can't find it. But again, that's a program.
That's a program.
And where did that program come from? So then, you know, once we identified it, it's literally like going out to your garden and going
picking weeds.
Right? And then you go, aha, I got it by the roots. And then you go, boom,
into the compost pile.
It's not there anymore. And then it leaves room for your flowers to grow.
Exactly.
More beautifully.
Well, and here's the thing. I love the analogy that you're bringing up, because by definition, again, a weed is something growing where you don't want it. So right now, I have this beautiful area back here that's full of ferns. I don't want them anymore. So to me, they're weeds. So if anybody in central Alberta wants to come and dig ferns, they're yours for the digging.
I might dig some of those.
And going back to that growing analogy, so while those weeds, we'll call them weeds instead of clutter, while those weeds are growing, they're taking moisture, they're taking nutrients, they're taking up space, which prevents
the new growth,
or the expanded growth of what you
Expansion.
want to come into that space.
I love that too, because that is like, those things are sucking your life force
100%.
energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, nature teaches us all the time.
All the time. I love analogies about growing. I did a presentation one time about growing tomatoes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, Mother Nature,
Yeah.
she's our best teacher.
She
We're
is
part
so-
of her. We're integrated with her. We just have to recognize that, see through our feng shui eyes. So we have a little bit of time left.
Yeah.
So we got what
A
number?
17. We got number 16. So a 1 and a 6 is a 7.
And we have a 2, 6, an 8. And
15.
15 and a 6, another 6. I think we have.
Well, look at the 6s. Hang on. We've got 16, 26,
and they add
and
up
a 6.
to a 6. And so, yeah.
So that's a triple 6.
Triple 6.
Ah.
Okay, well, let's see what this. Oh, here we are. And look at that. I opened.
She opens
oh
the
my
book.
God. Like seriously, I opened the book
Okay,
and stuck
so-
my thumb. And you have to see it's the start
the-
of 7. But over
it's the
here,
ending of the 666.
over here, it's got triple.
So before you read it, just show the screen, the
Oh,
book.
yeah. there
So
we
this
go.
is 2 incredible ladies that we both have the privilege of knowing, and it's their
And
book
working with.
and working with.
Mhm.
Yes, Double Digitology. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get it from their website and they'll autograph it for you.
Joe Roby and Marilyn
Joy,
Hoppe.
yep, Joy and Marilyn.
And you know what? They do it like we do. They do it alphabetically. J before M.
Yep.
Because, you know,
We do Anita and Cheryl.
and because you'd think Marilyn and Joy.
Yep.
Well, which we say sometimes. Anyways. Okay, so ultimately we affirm again for you the 666 energy is of unconditional love.
Aww. So it doesn't matter if you have clutter or not.
Feel into that love and embrace it, own it. We promise no harm will result. Numerologically, the 666 is also about ending a cycle because it is also a 9.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's up.
Because 666 adds up to 18 and that adds to
One and eight.
9. And I just read something on an email this morning about the energy of the 9 that we are, as we're getting, you know, into the final quarter of 2022, we're in a 9 energy, which is about completion.
Perfect time for completing those projects.
So even the 1 and the 8 have power, 1 being new, 8 being abundance, and so very powerful, not fearful, all loving. The 666 also has that wonderful energy of moving forward, a real rolling type of focus. We simply want to be very clear here. Unconditional love, the 666 is about ending a cycle that is without love and expanding the new frequency that is abundant in the new energy of compassionate love. And, you know, that's beautiful because it's like,
is.
if you don't love that thing anymore,
100%.
you don't love the family room the way the space is, you know what? It has no business being in your frequency because it is sucking your life force energy. So it has no place there. And you can lovingly
release it.
Release it. And yeah, and then that's going to bring you infinite abundance and, you know, about that completion thing. It's like,
and you know what? I think in this next round, because I know myself, I have a number of projects started.
Yep.
And one coach that, that we are both familiar with, Andrew Barber Starkey.
Yep.
Every quarter we had a cleanups and completions week.
Yes.
And I haven't done that for a long time. And I actually think that that is probably going to be
the start
the start for me will be at completions and cleanups.
Yeah, I like that.
Because it's every time you go to do it, it's like, oh, it's not a big task, but it's more than I want to deal with at this moment.
At this moment. And
it's to break it down.
Some things you have to be in a certain frame of
mind.
Like
bookkeeping?
Yeah.
That'd be mine.
That one. Yeah, that one I could do a completion on some of that.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, we tend to do the things that are fun first, right?
Well, yeah.
So the things that are in our mind that feel like chores or feel like,
it's
you know,
big
somebody's
job.
cracking the whip. So then again, we have to shift. How can we make that, what's the reward at the end?
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things.
It's funny. I'm looking at my garden trellis over here, and I just noticed that sunflower.
Yeah.
And do you see how
Smiling at you?
well, it's smiling, but do you see how the morning glories are weighing it down now?
Oh, yes.
So the morning glories are doing really, really well, and they're climbing and they're climbing, and they've climbed up the sunflower stalk, and now they're kind of gotten a hold on them. Hold on it.
Oh,
so what in your life has kind of gotten a hold on you and it's bringing you down?
You're good.
Nature,
Wow.
nature, man. We're getting all kinds of analogies
Wow. That is really good. Because
here.
it's
It builds
true.
up and it builds
And
up and it builds up.
Who would have thought that the morning glory would have the strength to pull down the sunflower? Because the sunflowers have big stalks and big roots, and they're tough.
Yeah.
But the morning glory is
Literally got
in
a string of
command.
hold. Yep. 100% command of the situation. And just for y'all, I'll take a picture of it and post it in the comments afterwards.
Yeah.
So very interesting. Thank you again for those that are joining us. I can hear some work going on next door, so our background noise might be a little loud. Thank you for joining us. We love having you with us. We do have a number of events coming up for those of you in Central Alberta. We have a live event, the Sylvan Lake Women's Wellness Retreat coming up. What are the dates on that? Remember? In September.
I don't remember. I'll find it.
Yeah, we'll be sharing some information. We also have an online summit coming up that's going to be really fun. We call it the 3 C's.
And that's the
September 8th and 9th.
Yep.
And this amazing woman is going to be interviewed by Lee Carroll and Monica Morani for Healing Wednesday. I am so excited about that. That's coming up in November. And in between there, we'll still be here on Fridays.
And do another stuff.
Out and about. I wanted to add something to that. And there it was, gone.
Well, you'll remember, you can post it in the comments.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Oh, like, comment, share.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Show us some pictures of your yard.
Show us some love.